Okay, so for this one we need to find critical numbers. Critical numbers appear anywhere for the first derivative where the first derivative equals 0 or is undefined. So first things first, we need to take the first derivative. So we have f prime of x equals, so for this we're going to have to do a combination of the chain rule and the power rule and the quotient rule. So quotient rule first, that is first times derivative of the second plus second times derivative of the first. So first is just 5x, derivative of the second is using power rule, e to the negative 8x, and then derivative of the power, which is just negative 8, plus second. So we have first times derivative of the second, this whole thing is derivative of the second, plus second times derivative of the first. Derivative of the first is power rule, drop the 5 down, lower the exponent by 1. So 5x to the fourth. Okay, now we have the derivative, we're going to set that equal to 0, and then we're going to simplify it just a little bit as well. So we have 0 equals negative 8x to the fifth e to the negative 8x plus e to the negative 8x 5x to the fourth. Okay, so we need to figure out what we can get what x equals when it's 0. So we're going to break this up just a little bit. For these two, we need to find what common factors they have. Common factors, we can take a e to the negative 8x out of both of them. And then also we can take an x to the fourth power. So for this one, it'll leave us with just x there. This one, it'll take all of that, x to the fourth. So we're taking x to the fourth power, e to the negative 8x, and that's all times by, once we take x to the fourth and e to the negative x here, all we're left with is negative 8x, plus we took this whole e to the negative 8x out, and we also took x to the fourth, so it's just 5 there. So whenever you have two functions, we'll call them, equal to 0, either this needs to equal 0 or this needs to equal 0. So for this first one, x to the fourth e to the negative 8x equals 0. That happens when x equals 0, because if x equals 0, x to the fourth equals 0, then 0 times anything equals 0. So when we do this one of our critical numbers is going to be x equals 0. For our second, we have negative 8x plus 5 equals 0, minus 5 to both sides, and then divide by negative 8. We're going to do all that in one. So we just have x equal to positive 5/8. It's positive 5/8 because we minused 5, so we have a minus 5 here. And then dividing by minus 8, minus over minus is a positive. So these are going to be our two critical numbers, x equals 0 and x equals positive 5/8.